This is just wild. On this video, I'm going to teach you how to do the rack stitch. I'm going to be using a 4mm hook and some cotton yarn size 4. So for this stitch, you want to start with a foundation chain that's a multiple of 7 plus 4. So in my case, I have 18. For row 1, you want to work 1 double crochet into the 4th chain from the hook. So you're skipping 1, 2, and 3, and into the 4th doing 1 double crochet. Now you want to skip 2 chains, and that's, by the way, the beginning of the repetition, by skipping 2 chains. And into the next, you're going to work the following: 3 double crochets, a chain 1, and 3 double crochets, all into the same chain. So this is going to be 1, 2, and 3. Now you're going to chain 1 and into the same chain do 3 more double crochets. Now something important is that your next chain is gonna kind of get hidden because of all the work that you're doing here. So you got to keep that in mind because you're going to be skipping that and you don't want to lose it. So my next chain's over here. I'm going to actually pinch it with my thumbs, so that I remember that. So now into the same chain, we're going to finish that off with 3 double crochets into the same one. So that is 1, 2, and 3. So there we go. Into the same chain, you did 3 double crochets, chain 1, 3 double crochets. Now we are going to skip 2 chains, and remember the next one gets a little bit hidden, so you got to be careful. So skip 2 and then do 1 double crochet into each of the next 2 chains. So we do 1 and 2. And so that is the end of the row repetition. We're going to go back to the beginning and we're going to skip 2 and do 1 into the next one, do the combination of 3 double crochets, chain 1, 3 double crochets. So that's 1, 2, 3. Just grab more yarn here. Chain 1 and into the same one, 3 more double crochets. 1, 2, and 3. And remembering my next chain is now kind of hidden in there, but it's there. And now skipping 2 chains and doing 1 double crochet into each of the next 2. In my case, it's the end of the row, but you're going to repeat that for however many more chains you have left. So that's 1 and 2. And this for me is the end of row 1. For row 2, you want to start with a chain 3, which counts as a double crochet, and flip your work. You're going to skip the first stitch and into the next do 1 double crochet. Now you're going to start your row repeat by skipping 2 stitches and into the next one doing 1 double crochet. Now you're going to chain 1 and into the chain space, which is right here. Let me show you. Is that chain 1 that you did in between. So into that chain space there, you are going to work the following: 1 double crochet, a chain 1, and 1 double crochet, all into the chain space. Now you're going to chain 1 and do 1 double crochet into the next stitch. So into the next one here, do 1 double crochet. Now you're going to skip the last 2 double crochets up this, like what is that called? Now you're going to skip 2 double crochets and do 1 double crochet into each of the next 2 double crochets. So skipping 2 and doing in the next 2 1 double crochet each. And there we have it. That's the end of the row repetition. We can do that again together. We're going to go back to the beginning and we're skipping 2 stitches and doing 1 double crochet into the next. That brings us to the chain space. So into that chain space, you're going to do 1 double crochet, a chain 1, and 1 double crochet. Now we're going to chain 1 and do 1 double crochet into the next stitch. Skip 2 and do 2 double crochets, or like 1 double crochet into the next 2 stitches, which in my case is the end of the row. So 1 double crochet, and my very last one's going to be worked into the top of the turning chain. And that there finishes my row 2. For row 3, you want to chain 3 and flip your work. You're going to skip the first double crochet and do 1 double crochet into the next one. Now you're going to start your row repeat. You're going to skip the next chain space, and into the next one here, you're going to do 2 double crochets. So 1, 2, a chain 3, and into the same chain space, you're going to do another 2 double crochets. So that's 1 and 2. Now you're going to skip 2 stitches, so these 2, and do 1 double crochet into each of the next 2 double crochets. So into these ones here. So doing there 1 double crochet each. So that's 1, and this is 2. And now you can go back to the beginning of the repetition by skipping the next chain space, this one here, and into the next one doing the combination of 2 double crochets, a chain 3, and into the same chain space doing 2 more double crochets. Now you're going to skip 2 and do 1 double crochet into each of the next 2, which in my case is the end of the row. And so my very last one, I'm going to work it into the top of the turning chain. That was 1, and this is my turning chain. So my very last double crochet will be worked into the top of it. And that there is the end of row 3. For row 4, we are chaining 3 and flipping our work. You're going to skip the first stitch and into the next one do 1 double crochet. Now you're going to start your row repetition. You're going to do into the next chain 3 space, which is this one here. You're going to work the following. You're doing 3 double crochets. That's 1, 2, and 3. Now doing a chain 1, and into the same space doing 3 more double crochets. So 1, 2, and 3. Now you're going to skip 2 stitches, so these 2 here, and do 1 double crochet into each of the next 2. So into these ones here, 1 and 2. And now we can go back to the beginning of the repeat, which essentially is into the next 3 chain space, doing the combination of the 3 double crochets, chain 1 and 3 double crochets. So that's 1, 2, and 3. Chain 1, and now 3 again into the chain 3 arch. So that's 1, 2, and 3. Skipping 2 stitches and into the last 2, doing 1 double crochet each. If you have more stitches, you want to just continue the repetition, but in my case, this is the last 2. So my final double crochet is going to be into the top of the turning chain. And that there is the end of row 4. So moving forward, you just want to repeat rows 2 through 4 until you have the desired length of your work or a finished swatch. When you look at it, you're like, what is going on here? But it's a simple repetition. Once you get the hang of it, very, very unique and gorgeous. Hey, while you're at it, why don't you just subscribe to my channel? Just do it. Just do it.